Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilhine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Very glad you're here today.
We're so excited to have you here. This is a big day for us. We not only have a very special guest here to join us here at the top of the call to share some exciting news with you, but we also have a very exciting feature update that Greg is going to be sharing with you on this call as well. So as you're coming in, let us know where in the world you are. If you have a guess about maybe what the new update is, maybe pop it into the chat. Let's see if you know. Maybe you found it today. Anyway, so I want to take a moment and introduce you to a friend of AttractWell. It's a friend of ours. Chrissy is someone that we have worked with for years now. We've partnered on all kinds of really fun and exciting projects, and she is an absolute pro AttractWell user, as it turns out as well. And Chrissy is running a really interesting workshop next week that if you are a business owner, which of course everybody here is, you're gonna want to know a little bit more about what she's doing because, well, I think what she's talking about solves a little bit of a problem that we all have. So Chrissy, I want to kick it over to you. If you could please let us know about what you have coming up. We're so excited to have you on here to share this with us today.
Yes, I love this. I love seeing where you guys are from in the chat. New York and Florida and Vegas, Canada, all over. Even getting into other continents. I love this. Yeah, so I'm super excited about this masterclass, and it's especially exciting for the AttractWell users because we have some really special things like just for you guys that you're going to hear about more on the masterclass call that's happening on Tuesday. But I kind of want to just dive into this topic of sometimes the overwhelm of your business. How many of you started your business, or your business is about something that you're really passionate about, that you love doing, and you would probably do it for free, but you want to make money, right? So you're charging for some of the things that you're doing. But how many of you are in that category? You just like love what you do. You would do it for free, but you're going to get paid. Sharon's saying absolutely yes. Yeah, so many of you. So sometimes we find ourselves in this space, in this place where we really want to serve, but then we feel like we're getting a little bit overwhelmed and there's a lot to do. And how many of you started your business to have some more freedom, some more time freedom, some more financial freedom, right? That's why you ended up charging people, right? You're like, I want more financial freedom, more time freedom. Melissa's saying definitely yes. And so then we find ourselves in this cycle where kind of get in this mode of feeling like we have to hustle and we have to sacrifice to get our business off the ground and to get it running. And now my to-do list is forever long and I can't catch up and I'm always behind and I want to spend time with my family, but I'm trying to get my business growing and scaling and things don't seem to be working, right? Are any of you feeling those feelings right now? You just want the success and you're like, yeah, I'm seeing me. Yes. Yeah. Oh, plus my ADHD brain kicks in 100%. Yes. So that's really what who this masterclass is for, really for people that want to get their business growing. They want to reach 6 figures and beyond, but they want to spend more time with their family. And you can have both things. You can have a successful business, a growing business, a thriving business while spending most of your time with your family. And so that's what we're going to be diving into on the masterclass, is teaching you how to get 4 more hours back in your day. Wouldn't that be nice if you could eliminate a lot of the things that you're doing, the busy things? You're like, I'm doing all this stuff in my business, and it doesn't seem to be really moving the needle, right? Why are we so busy and we're not seeing results? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the sneaky hidden obstacle that prevents struggling business owners from turning their prospects into paying customers. And then definitely how to automate, streamline, and systemize your business without knowing a thing about tech. And I know you guys are diving into the tech because you're using AttractWell, so you're getting your, feet wet with that. But that's still a big challenge and a struggle. How many of you are still kind of like, oh, the tech, like I'm in here and I'm doing the things, but sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, right? So that's what we're going to talk about in the masterclass. Lots of golden nuggets. You're going to have like light bulbs. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, Chrissy is like speaking to me. This is so exciting. So we're going to dive into that. Yeah. And I'm going to help you be more efficient in your business. So who's excited? Greg will put the link in the chat, and it's attractwell.com/masterclass, right? Just masterclass.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Melody's excited. Greg just put that in the chat. Yeah, it's a hot topic right now because people want success. inflation, everything is getting more expensive. We need more money coming into our business to support our family, but we also don't want to miss out on those precious moments, whether you have little ones or you have, college age or maybe grandkids, you want those precious moments with your family. So how do we do it all? Because it is possible.
Absolutely. So guys, head over to attractwell.com/masterclass, grab your seat. This is going to be taking place. It's next week, right?
Yeah, sorry, next Tuesday, the 25th, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll probably go for about 75 minutes just to be safe. So, an hour and 15 minutes. And I will send out a replay. However, come live if you can. Rearrange your schedule. Get there. We have some really special things happening for those that are tuning in live. And then if I just can't move this thing, I have to do something at 1 p.m. I will send out a replay, but schedule time later that afternoon or that evening to watch the replay. Incredibly important that you watch the first day. So Bren, yes, it will be recorded. I will send that out, but don't leave it for a few days. Watch it right away.
Fabulous. You guys, I can't recommend what Chrissy is sharing here enough. This is somebody who knows how to manage time. We've got multiple kids at home, right? You've got a big family aside from that, and you run multiple businesses. And of course, you've been teaching folks for years how to make it all make sense in a way that just feels really good, flows with who you are, and gets you the results that you're looking for in your business. So guys, head over to attractwell.com/masterclass to get access to this masterclass that Chrissy is hosting next week. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing this opportunity with our community, Chrissy.
Yes, 100%. I'm excited to see some of these names, Debbie, Trissy, Ashley, on the call on Tuesday. So excited.
Fabulous. All right. Thank you. I want to kick it over to Greg now to share a very exciting new feature update inside of the system. If you have a member area developed with vaults and online classes, this is going to be especially exciting for you, I think. So Greg, if you could go ahead and kick that off.
Yeah, let's do it here. Awesome. Okay. So the update is, as Ashley mentioned, inside the member area. What I have here is a vault. I have a test account that I'm using with just some demo data in it. I have a vault called this e-commerce accelerator. But if you look really closely and you're familiar with how the system is laid out, you probably see something a little bit new, and it's this little find something box down here. This is new, and what that does is it searches through all the pages, classes, lessons, and all the comments, posts, whatever, inside the discussion room, all in one spot. So we've had this request a lot. It's been on our wish list for a long time. Basically, people are like, hey, I've got all these awesome resources in my vault, but people are having a hard time finding them. They just want to type a keyword and go in there. And so here you can, I forget the word that I was going to use. I think it was in one here, but let's search for, commerce, I think was the word I had searched for. So if I just type commerce, this example shows you like, well, here's a page that matches, it has the word in there. Here's the class, actually the title matches. Here's a lesson inside that class, another lesson that matches. And then even in the discussion room here, there's a note or a comment or post or something in there that has that. And if you click on any of these, it'll just take you right to that specific lesson in the course or to the page or whatever it is that it comes up in the search results. So it is very handy for like streamlining that and finding stuff. There's another addition inside the class itself. If you click if you're in a class, there's a new find something in this class, and this basically takes up the same screen, except it only searches this class. It takes you to the same search result, except it just searches this class. So like I'll just use the word commerce again here because I see that in a couple of these lesson titles. You do that, and then it's going to pop up here with the lessons that match within that class. You can use this in a number of different ways. You've seen people using hashtags, right? So you could, for example, if you have, some people have very large lesson lists, they have 100+ lessons in their class. Somebody might have a weekly replay video or something, where each one of these is a lesson. Well, if you hashtag it with something, hashtag January or whatever, it could show all the January ones or whatever, or maybe you've got pages with stuff on there that you want people to jump to, or videos or whatever. You can use this for a nice way, keyword search for people to be able to get to where they want to go. So yeah, this all came from feedback from everybody. So We appreciate all the feedback we get every day because it helps us make it a little bit better.
Absolutely. Thank you, Greg, for making this improvement. Of course, if you guys have any questions about it and how it works, feel free to add those to the Q&A as you can throughout the call. This is something that has, like Greg just mentioned, been on our wish list, and everything that's on our wish list for making improvements to our platform is here because someone just like you asked us, can it do this? So feel free to keep those suggestions coming. And of course, we're always excited to see the different ways that you use AttractWell. So what we're going to do now, as we normally do, is hop out of video and get into our training content for today. Our topic is specifically focused on the AttractWell app, which, by the way, if you plan to use the AttractWell app and have your customers use it or clients use it specifically, you are going to need to have your member area developed. So I think this is a timely update and certainly one that we're all excited to have now. So today we're going to talk about how we can increase engagement with your clients and your customers with an app-centered customer experience. And of course, we'll be getting into how we get that done. But if you didn't know, AttractWell has an app. And in that app, you can actually manage your own AttractWell account, do everything that you would do from a desktop, but from a handy app on your phone or tablet device. And then, of course, if you have vaults inside of your member area developed, anyone who has access to those could use the AttractWell app to access your vault content. So today we're going to be talking about how we can get more app-centric in the way that we serve our clients. And of course, why we should even go about doing that in the first place, how we can create the experience. I've got done for you resources that are ready for you to use so you can start creating a more app-focused experience for your clients. And then of course, a strategy that will help you get all of this done. Today as well, we have space for live help and Q&A. If you are looking for help or you have questions, please do add those to the Q&A. We definitely can make space to work with you live on the call, or we could simply answer a question that you ask in the Q&A. So definitely add those there. And if you want to work together live, maybe you want to schedule this out in the future, you want to work together on your website, your strategy, your funnels, etc., whatever that might be, you can go to attractwell.com/work-review to set aside dedicated space on an upcoming call just like this one. We meet every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and we do keep space to work in depth together live. And of course, if you are watching this as a replay in the future, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to sign up for this list so that you can be notified of when we go live. You can get links to Zoom to join us. And of course, you'll be the first to get our resources and replays. And if you need a hand, if you're working on getting things done in AttractWell and you'd like to get them done faster, if you aren't a developer, if you don't feel confident in design or copywriting or strategy or any combination of these things, and you'd like some help getting some of this done, we have incredible experts on our team who can help you with all of the above. You can go to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more and request a quote. Now that we're here, who uses the AttractWell app? If you're here on the call, let us know in the chat or maybe raise your hand. Are you using it? And how do you use it? Do you use it yourself for managing your account, maybe sending emails and texts on the go? Maybe you're using it with your clients, right? So it looks like we've got a lot of opportunity to get started here today. Fantastic. All right, we've got a lot, and then we've got some didn't even know it existed and some knows as well. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get into it. So the AttractWell app is available on the Apple app and Google Play stores. You can, as an AttractWell user today, download it, and you can begin using it to manage your back office as well as to log into your own member areas so that you can interact as a user, for instance, if you'd like to. But let's talk today about how and why we ought to go more app-centric and how we're showing up for our clients. First things first, you've got content. That content is obviously what your clients have paid for access to on some level, and your clients need to interact with your content to get results, right? Now, how many of us have, and nobody's judging, how many of us have maybe purchased access to a course or a program and maybe kind of forgot about it, didn't do anything with it? Just kind of left it over there in the inbox, didn't maybe complete it or engage with it. It's kind of a common phenomenon, right? And we don't want that to happen for you or for your clients, right? And so one way that we can ensure that this doesn't happen is to stay top of mind, right? So staying top of mind is definitely something that you can accomplish with email. You can accomplish it with SMS, right? But if you live on the home screen of the device that their life is tethered to, that's always in their pocket or purse, you're going to get a lot more visibility than if you were buried under a whole bunch of other stuff in somebody's inbox, right? All right, so if we can get on the home screen, we can stay top of mind. That means they stay more engaged and they're more likely to get the outcomes that they're coming for, right? So that's the first and foremost. We want the best outcomes for our clients, and they will get a better outcome the more engaged they are. Getting on their home screen means more engagement. This also means, and this is really important, they no longer have a need to remember or manage login information. With the AttractWell app, all they have to do is confirm the email address that they signed up with on your website. And then they have access to everything that they've gotten from you that lives inside of a vault. Pretty cool stuff. So that makes it easier for them as well. So it's an easier user experience. And then finally, for your sake, my word, why wouldn't you use another method to reach people when we typically get drowned out in our email inboxes and sometimes can, feel a little overwhelmed even with text. So app notifications are something that you get to unlock in how you communicate with your clients who are using the app. And this means you get a new way of connecting with them and making sure that they see what they need to see when they need to see it. So let's talk about how we go about creating this app-centric experience. First, it does, like I mentioned before, require vault-based content. Your client needs to have access to a vault, right? So this is a step that you're going to want to take. Start, following what I'm teaching here. Once you have a vault set up that your clients and customers are going to be accessing in some way for some of what they purchased from you. It could be where you keep a private discussion room. The sky's the limit in terms of what you can do with a vault, but regardless, in order for the app connection to work here, they need vault access. Okay, that's where we have to start. And of course, that client is going to get access to a vault post-purchase, or if you have a free vault after they are granted access to the vault. You're going to include a call to action with links to download the app and instructions on how to download as well. We're going to put this on our post-purchase or confirmation page. So after somebody pays for or registers for Vault access, we can send them straight to a page that says, you're going to get the best experience if you go and you download this app right now. And I'm going to give you bonuses. We can also incentivize, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. You also want to include the same, you always want to repeat this stuff. You want to include the same call to action, links and instructions in the email or text campaign that goes out after they've purchased or been granted access. And then you can repeat the information once more inside of the vault itself, because obviously some will take action when they first sign up. But if that reminder lives inside of the vault, they're constantly reminded that they ought to be going and getting access to that app so that they can get the added benefit. Now, the resources that I have created for you here today are exactly those things that you need to get it done. So the first thing that you see over here on the left is a saved reply that you're going to be able to just drop down into whatever your mode of communication might be. It might be in your email campaigns. It might be a broadcast message that you send out, or you could even add the saved reply into a lesson in an online class in your vault. Immediately to the right here in the center is a page that actually shows a full set of instructions. Again, this is done for you. It's made for you. The screenshots are ready to go. You may, though, choose to modify the image at the top and bottom of this page so that it reflects what your vault looks like. And if you would like to do that, over here on the right-hand side of the screen, we have a Canva template available for you as well. And that's where you can actually go and take a screenshot of your app from inside of your AttractWell app. So actually go in and open your vault in your AttractWell app, take a screenshot, And then you can drag that over on top of this template that I've given you, and you can make this page look exactly like it was designed for you, because it was. So your resource bundle that Greg has just shared here in the comments, and I'll make sure it's in the description on the YouTube recording. This is your resource today. So all you have to do is check the box, click the button, and of course you see here that there's a Canva template linked, and when you claim this, you will get access to that saved reply, as well as the page that has the app instructions. So let's talk about how we use these once we get these set up. First, of course, you want to claim, modify, and make these your own. Then we're going to use the page that we've created as a page that you send someone to post-purchase, so like a confirmation or a thank you page. You can also use the copy in feature, which we'll look at here in just a bit, where you can take maybe an existing confirmation page for a course or program and add this beneath it on that page. So you can have something that you've already designed, and then you can add this in just to make sure that you've got those instructions included as well. You can take this page as well and copy it into a vault. So you can use this as vault content, and then you can take this saved reply and add it to your post-purchase campaign or add it to an online class inside your vault. And again, happy to show you what this looks like when you add any of these into your existing vault or page content. And we can do that here after we're out of slides. And then finally, once you have got everything set up the way that you like, you could also send an email out to your vault contacts. So if you already have a vault, you've got clients you're serving, you can actually go and contact the clients in that vault and use your saved reply to encourage them to go and download the app. Now let's talk about how we can actually get them to do it. We got to talk about our app-centric strategy. We know what's in it for us, and we can see what's in it for them. Now we got to get them to do it. The first thing that we, of course, need to do is to have app-focused infrastructure that they can interact with. Now, that is something that you've received with today's resources. That's your page, that's your saved reply that you can then plug in and use in those different places in your site and in your member area. The next thing we want to think about is how we can create incentives for your people to actually download the app and enable notifications. What this could look like is perhaps you have an exclusive bonus that you offer. Maybe once a week, there is a call that is available. Maybe you do like a quick call if you have a group program, but it's only available to folks who have the app, and they will only receive the app, link via an in-app notification. That's certainly something that you could do. Doesn't have to be something huge, but of course, if you're trying to encourage new behavior, you do often have to incentivize, and you absolutely have to repeat. So those push notifications, which by the way, we do have dedicated training on how to use and send those push notifications on our YouTube channel, on our app playlist. That is something that you would be able to send out, offer exclusive bonuses, downloads, PDFs. Maybe those are the folks who get things early. You send those push notifications out a day before what everybody else receives who's getting email, just as an example, right? And of course, if you are working one-on-one with a client and you want to incentivize or encourage them, do make sure anytime that you speak with them on a one-on-one basis that you notice that they don't have access to that yet. Let them know what's in it for them, and of course, guide them through what they need to do to get it done. If you are doing group calls or any kind of regular interaction in your vault or with folks who are in your vault, you should be repeating and including this call to action and these instructions here as well. We are never looking at an if you build it, they will come circumstance here. We do have to continue repeating and pointing to make sure that people are hearing it enough so that they can take action. All right, so if you want to learn more about the AttractWell app and the different things you can do with it, we do have a growing playlist on our AttractWell YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/AttractWell. And if you click playlist, you can see that we have an app playlist here. And there are additional playlists for things like creating a member area and onboarding your clients and things like that. So definitely do check those videos out. So let's get into some live help and Q&A and work with anybody that needs help. And definitely do add any questions that you might have to the Q&A so that those are addressed. Let me go over here. We should be in Jane's account. Perfect. I'm going to claim this resource bundle and show you exactly what you can do with this resource. So if I click here and I go claim bundle, you'll actually see that these are available now for me to edit. I don't want to go and grab those just yet because I want to actually open up this Canva template and show you exactly what you can do to get this done. So when you claim it, and this is exactly the same as it shows up on the page, and you would want to replace the first image on the page, the final image on the page, as well as the image that is in the saved reply if you want to rebrand this and make it yours. So I'll show you here real quick. Under uploads, and this is where your screenshot from your own device is going to go, you would actually take a screenshot of your member area from the app on your device, and then you would take it from your uploads here and just drag it over on top of this image. Let it go. It'll take a second, and then it's going to populate that image there. And that's all you have to do to make this image your own. Now, I want to show you if you wanted to use a different kind of mockup, you could do that as well. Just remember that you are going to have to go through and sort of document what the process looked like for you to sign up. So, take a screenshot of AttractWell in the App Store, take a screenshot of, put your email address in, etc. You would want to recreate that if you rebrand this. But if you go to Canva, you can go down here to apps, and then you're looking for something called mockups. And when you get to mockups, I'm using smartphones here. You could certainly use tablet if you prefer, if that's how you're taking your screenshots. But you can go right here to smartphones. I'm going to see all. And you do have quite a few different options here. This is the one that I chose, and I did zoom in and make it quite a bit bigger, as you can see here. But again, you have multiple options that you can choose from if you want to modify that. So let's come back over here and take a look at this bundle that we just claimed. I'm going to click here and go to my claimed. And there's our app sharing resources. I want to first view my saved reply. And you can see here, this is where we'll swap out the image if we need to. And you do have a call to action here. So what I've put here is that you can access your content on the go and be the first to know about exclusive promotions and updates when you download the AttractWell app. You will want to obviously modify this copy to reflect what you are incentivizing with use of the app, of course. So get that done to the degree that you want. You can, of course, change how the text shows up. You can change the style of the buttons. These are all definitely options for you. Now, the page, you can use this as a confirmation page, as mentioned. I want to call your attention to just a couple of quick places here. Right here, this is where you might want to swap out with an image that reflects the view of your own vault. And of course, any of the specific call to action type language that you're wanting to use here. The instructions are going to be pretty straightforward. You will want to reference the name of your vault or your program or whatever it is that your vault is housing for your clients. And then in the final image here, we're showing them what they have access to. And you would want to just make this the same as the image up here at the top of the page. Now, once you have this done, you can certainly use this for multiple purposes. If you want to modify the language here and just have this be a dedicated page about downloading the app that you can just simply share where you want to with any of your clients, you can change the copy that's here. And what I would do is make sure if this is something that you're going to be sharing via link and not just redirecting to from page to page, make sure you give it a sharing image, because if it's showing up in their email or in the DMs or in messages, it is going to want to populate an image. So you can include something here for that purpose. So once you have your two resources made your own, when those look the way that you want them to, you can now use them in a number of different places. So let me find a sales page just as an example here. And maybe here we go, here's our sales page template. So maybe we're selling a program here. After somebody is purchased, we want to send them somewhere specific. So under leads, I'm going to send them to this confirmation page with app instructions. So that means that after they register, and this actually works as well if the vault is free, or if we go under payments here, Jane doesn't have a payment processor set up, but you can set this up in your automations as well to redirect to this app focused page. Let me show you how you can also utilize this page in conjunction with maybe an existing confirmation page that you have. So if you have one that you already like, but you would like to add the app instructions, this is going to be a pretty simple process. We're just going to use the copy in feature that's available in Pages. So here's our confirmation page. I'm going to go down here and to click this little plus to add a new section. And then we have this button that says copy in another page. Now I'm going to select this confirmation page with app instructions. And then you can just modify whatever you want to say in this top section, and all of the rest of those instructions are there for your person to follow who is just opted in. The final place where we can place this page is actually in our vaults. So this is a really simple process as well. You can go into your vault, click add content, and then click copy page, and then select the page that you want to copy that in, and you will need to give it a name, title bar, and text. Don't worry about any of the sharing settings because this is something that lives inside your vault. But once this is here, it now becomes a page in your vault. It is vault content when you set it up this way. Now, perhaps you want to include the call to action, but you would rather it live inside of your online class as opposed to being a dedicated page. So maybe you want to create new content, and this is step one, download the app. And what we'll do here is scroll down to save replies, and we'll find this one that says download the AttractWell app. There we go. So again, you can modify this. If you've already modified the copy on this in the saved reply, then you don't really have anything else to do. You just have a new lesson here. And you can add that and it's good to go. Other ways that you can utilize this saved reply, if you have a campaign attached to your vault or a campaign that you send out maybe for onboarding your clients. Let me go to campaigns here. We can create a new campaign, or we can actually find one that we're already using and just apply these instructions maybe to the first email that goes out. So here's our day 0. We're welcoming them to the vault. And as it turns out, we actually do have in our vault, our built-in welcome to vault campaign, we do have links to get the app. But if you would like to add, again, your own sort of branding and make it a little more effective with copy, just drop your saved reply in here. And you can repeat this experience here so they get this right away. You could also send this as a broadcast email. You go to your messages, you filter for your contacts, or more effectively, we go over to our vaults. We look for our contacts in our vaults. We go to actions, mail, and then let's pop in that saved reply to encourage them to go and download the app. Right? So we can schedule that out or send it. So now you've got all of these different ways of using it. You can start focusing on getting more people into the app and using the app so that they can get the better experience and you have a better way to reach people. Awesome. So let me look at let me see, I think I saw I thought I saw something in the Q&A. All right, Colette asks, how do I copy this link from the chat? let me see. Oh, got you. So Colette, we actually have another link for you that we could send you directly because I know you use our other platform. There we go. Greg got it. Perfect. So that should work. Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are going to start using this resource. If anyone has any questions, if there's anything that you would like to see demonstrated, or if there's something else entirely that you are working on this week that you would like some help with or eyes on, feel free to go ahead and raise your hand, head into the Q&A, and let us know that you'd like to come out and chat, and we are happy to help.
Mhm. There was one question. I did answer it in chat or Q&A, but probably touched on it live here too. So Gemma asked, I was trying to create an online course and found myself playing with vaults, but it's not really an online course platform, is it? So
yeah. So it's really just a matter of nomenclature. So we absolutely are an online class platform, except we aren't just an online class platform, where a lot of platforms that are built for online learning are dedicated very specifically to one way of experiencing content and leading a client through content. With AttractWell, you can have an online class, you can have a group program, you can have a private coaching dashboard, you can have a hybrid, a live program, you can have a discussion room, you could have a group that replaces a Facebook group. All of these are achievable with AttractWell. And what they live inside of is called a vault. So if we think about this just in terms of, do you remember those toys that we had as kids where you had these blocks that were shapes, and then you've got this little toy that's got the star shaped and the rectangle and the circle shaped holes, right? So it's a container, right? And our container holds specific shapes. Now the member area holds one shape, it's rectangle shape, it's a vault, right? And what that looks like, and I can actually go over here and show you what that looks like for you. And this is just the back end. If you look at it, your member area can be comprised of multiple vaults, right? And so let's go look at what that looks like. There we go. So this is a member area, and these are vaults. Each of these could be completely different experiences inside, right? So there's one shape that fits in member areas. Those are called vaults. Now, inside of vaults, you can have a lot of different kinds of content. There are three shapes, to keep this silly analogy going. There are three shapes that fit inside of a vault, and that is a page shape, an online class shape, and a discussion room shape. So there are three different types of content that you can put into vaults in varying quantities, depending on the design of your program and the user experience you want to create. So you can have pages that are just like pages you would publish on your website, including pages with things like forms and calendar embeds and things like that. But then you also have this very interesting and expansive container that are online classes. And online classes look like this, right? They also can look a lot more designy than this. Like these can be images instead of links, for instance, if you wanted to do that. So inside of these, we have these sections. You can even have subsections. And then we have our actual lessons. That's what these are. So inside of these, you have the ability to have video. I don't think there's anything in this one, actually. You have the ability to put video. You can have links. You can have downloads. You can have discussion. You can have copy, anything that you would have inside of an online class. And so, yes, 100% you can do online classes with us, but that's just one piece of the big picture of what's possible. So if you are an online class creator, then you're going to create your online classes, and then you just got to make sure they're sitting inside of a vault before you sell them. And that's basically it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just a difference in language, just learning the nomenclature here is just slightly different. Melody, what was the third shape inside the vault? Yeah, so those are here. Let me zoom back in here. You can actually see that there are different icons. So there are pages, online classes, and discussion rooms. And based on your plan level and how many of these you have access to in terms of your online classes and your vaults, You can have any number of these. You can have 3 different discussion rooms and 5 online classes and 17 pages. You can have all of that inside of a vault. It's just a matter of, you have to have the container that holds them. So we've got our member area container can only have vaults, and then your vaults can have lots of stuff. And of course, when you get your online classes into your vaults, you can have tons of stuff in your online classes too. Oh, that's really cool, Gemma. Yeah, so we actually got our start with serving Young Living brand partners. So it's cool that this is familiar to you. A lot of Young Living brand partners use our Get Oiling platform, and of course, a lot of them use AttractWell as well. We do have, it's essentially the same platform. We're just not, AttractWell is not oily. It's basically the difference. So, and by the way, if that is a path that you're choosing to take, we do have a lot of training that you can follow and implement on AttractWell that we have on our Get Oiling channel. So yeah, feel free, if you choose to go that path, reach out to us. Girl, we've got so much we can help you with. Loads of stuff we can help you with there. So yeah, definitely, and welcome. So yeah, one of the things that I want to encourage you guys to consider is if you are onboarding, right? And we do absolutely have on our AttractWell YouTube channel some videos about onboarding clients and getting clients started the right way. Coursifying your coaching is one that I particularly love talking about because it allows you a lot of leverage. If you are a coach or a consultant, you do a lot of training or teaching alongside the actual deep work you do with your people. In your onboarding experience, make sure that you are verbally covering the app, sending the app via email, redirecting to the app instructions after they opt in, and then of course keep those app instructions inside of your vault. If you cover all of those bases, then you're going to have the best likelihood with a one-on-one client, of course, but then you can scale that into how folks get access to this stuff as well. We do have more training on vaults and member areas on our YouTube channel. Definitely recommend you check that out and start thinking about the different ways that you can be building community, that you could be maybe creating a second step in your funnel for higher quality leads inside of maybe a community or maybe some kind of a mini course or something. There's so much that you can do with this particular part of our platform. Awesome. So Bren, if you have other questions about the member area, specifically, happy to go over those with you. Let me go ahead and just show the difference between what you see on the front and back end of this. So this is the front end, meaning what your client would see. If your member area were this one, then they would see that there is a message on the dashboard here. They can modify their settings for the notifications they receive from things like discussion rooms, for instance. You can put you could put video up here, you can put all kinds of stuff up here. And of course you can brand it the way that you want to. Now, when someone logs in, they do have to log in or get the AttractWell app and confirm their email address before they're able to see what's in the member area. In any case, you can have a setting with your member area where anyone can create a login to your member area if you wanted to have a free thing that anybody could just log in and get. But then you can choose whether or not something is visible here that people have to go into a sales page to buy, or of course, if they have access to it, they can just click right in and get access. But all of the stuff that lives inside of your member area are these vaults. And like I just shared, vaults contain lots of things. It's your program, it's your course, it's whatever you want that to be. So if I come over here to member area, this is just a menu header on the site. You can go and check it out, check out the setup here. A lot of different cool modifications that you can make. Obviously, you can brand it. You can personalize it in a number of different ways, like the login screen, which is what this is. You can have your dashboard message. You can have a footer that's only for your member area. And you do have additional branding options here as well to brand how you share it. You could also, if you only want to receive email address or emails at a specific email address from your member area. So maybe this is your VIP clients. if you have a special email address from them, you could actually connect that here as well. Glad that could help, Bren. All right, Melissa, you can only sell vaults, right? You can't have one vault with multiple classes and each class is a separate cost. Yes, that's right. Payment is at the vault level. And when someone gets access to a vault, they get access to what's in the vault. So you're not really breaking apart the experience beyond the vault level. Now, you can kind of gate how your vault is set up, how the content is set up inside of the vault, so as to be able to, let's just say, for instance, only allow somebody to get one class per day. Over the course of 7 days, they can only unlock one lesson, right? So then in that case, somebody who signed up 7 days ago is going to see everything available, whereas the person who signed up today only has 1 day available. So you have settings like that you can put into place. You can absolutely, the vault can be a one-time payment. You can have a payment plan. You can have multiple, like you could do monthly, you could do annual. You do have all of those options with vaults for sure. And there are, Melissa, and we've kind of had some interesting trainings where we've gone through this together here on this call before with different folks who maybe want their, and actually I actually love this one. Let me open up Freeform and show you sort of a diagram of how this can work. Okay, no, that's the copy of it. I'm going to share my screen with you in just a second. I want to show you, here we go. So I had somebody reach out to me who is a health coach who has a 30-day program that has class content. So think like exercise videos, nutrition, things like that. And there's a discussion room. So the idea here is that it's almost like a Facebook group, except one that you pay for. It's a community and you get access to this for 30 days. Now, after 30 days, you have the option to pay for it monthly and retain access to it. But if you don't pay for it on a monthly basis, you can retain access to just the content. So those videos that helped you just won't have the community, you won't have the live calls, etc. And so I set up a sort of visual model to show how you can use the features in AttractWell to get that done, right? So, you buy something on a sales page. This is a one-time payment on a sales page that you're going to get access to this group program for 30 days. This, each of these are, I have a legend over here, right? Where each thing is a different sort of color and shape. It denotes a feature in AttractWell. So the campaigns are these green things. The pages are blue rectangles. Automations, which are a topic unto themselves. We do have a dedicated training on them on our YouTube channel, but they can do things like add a tag for initial program and remove the sales campaign. And then of course, add them to this vault. So after 30 days, an automation is applied and they are actually, it's down here. So here's our campaign, day 30 or day 31 or something like that. An automation is applied that's going to remove them from that initial program tag. It's going to tag them as completing the program. It's going to remove some of the other campaigns that are attached. And then it's actually going to sell them on rejoining, but with the auto, the rebill every month. Now, when this automation triggered, it did move them into a new vault, except it only had the online class content, same as here. They just don't get the community and the live calls and stuff, right? So now they retain access to the thing that they paid for, but now we've got a campaign that's stripping out and selling them access back into this, but on a rebill basis, on a monthly recurring basis. And so that, of course, has its own sort of journey here. If you're buying something in a vault that is a monthly or multiple payment setup, that's going to take place on a vault checkout page. So, of course, when they do that, they're added back into the vault. The automation does some other things. It removes the other stuff that was added to them previously, keeps it all nice and clean. And so, yeah, that's just one example. There's so many ways folks use our vaults and automations to navigate user experiences like this. If you're just getting started, what I would do is really just begin with one thing, right? So if you already have a product that you are offering elsewhere, set it up here. and get that going, but then base how you build things out on the user experience that you want. And of course, if you have any questions about how you can design that user experience using AttractWell features, we can do what basically any other platform, or often platform plus 5 other, glued together services can do, except here it's all in one place. And once you've made it, it just keeps working for you. I think there was a question about what I'm using to map this out. Susan, this is what you're looking at right now is an app called Freeform. It's free on Mac devices and I think on Apple mobile devices and tablets as well. It came with one of the more recent updates. But if you don't have a Mac, you can do something kind of like this in Canva. You can definitely do something like this in Lucidchart. And I've also done versions of something like this in like PowerPoint type, Keynote type apps as well. Peter, it's a good question. These funnels and flows, it's not something that we've been compiling necessarily, just because they're so often they're very unique use cases where somebody really wants their program to do this thing and not that thing, and then specifically this thing and not the other. So this is a very specific example. But any kind of use case that you can dream up, we would be happy to provide some kind of a thing like this just to kind of show and demonstrate. And what I'll often do is, like, when somebody asks a question that really necessitates showing it like this, I'll show it on a call like we're on today, so that it's not just for that one time, but the community can benefit from seeing this. So feel free to grab a screenshot of this if you like the idea of this kind of setup, because you can absolutely set something like this up in AttractWell. Let me see. eDraw does this as well, Peter. Thank you. I'm not familiar with that. Okay, Gemma says, where can we have access to this free form? Yeah, so I would just take a screenshot of it, Gemma. And this is just an example. I might maybe be able, let me see if I can export this as a PDF and share this in the chat. And this will just be like a special thank you for everybody who is here on the call live today, sticking around the whole time. Let me see if I can actually upload this. No, it actually won't let me. On Zoom meetings, it lets me do it. But yeah, just grab a screenshot. I'll make it nice and big again. There you go. Grab a screenshot of that, and maybe that'll be helpful to you. But essentially what we're looking at here is relying heavily on automations to add and remove the things that we want to happen next. And this is a fully automated experience, right? So if somebody, let's just say, for instance, doesn't sign up for the recurring billing program, they're going to continue to receive a drip of emails. Maybe at the end of this sequence, we just move them on to our general mailing list because they're not buying, or maybe, once every 6 months or so, we come back and invite them to maybe use a discount code or something like that to get their first month free. But that's all something that you can do right here. And then, of course, they would retain access here. And the beautiful thing about automations, and why I love them so much, is that if you have maybe this campaign going, and this campaign goes on for a year, because, if they haven't bought in the first 30 days, we want to come back 15 days later and say, hey, not sure if you missed this, but here, I wanted to give you a special discount code or something. This is going to be running in perpetuity. But let's say that this person decided that they actually wanted to take advantage of this, right? We need to remove this campaign. So that's what the automation's doing for you. And it's going to modify all of their access. It'll remove them from this one, because then it would be, they don't need access to both because the content's in here, right? So you have that ability to really tightly curate the experience that you want for your clients. Peter asks, is there a way to share funnels and flows in the Facebook group, as many of these are usable with edits to many? That is a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I will make a point here. I'll make a note for myself to see if I might grab some of these. I've only been using Freeform fairly recently. Like that's it's a pretty new thing for me. If you've seen our one-page funnel blueprint on the homepage of AttractWell, I made that in a word processor. This stuff wasn't available, and I'm sure Canva existed, but I didn't know how to use it. So there's a lot of ways to do this, but here, you know what, for giggles here, since you're enjoying this, you want to see what a punch card funnel looks like? Let me show you a punch card funnel. Maybe you have a client sort of serving sequence where you work with somebody, you know, maybe you do massage, or maybe you do different types of therapies. And after their 5th visit, maybe their 6th one is free. This is what that might look like, right? And what you see here is we have a full loop where they get to repeat this cycle. You could add more of these units into the whole, and you could have, you know, after 10 visits, like a coffee shop, you get your, you know, your 10th coffee free. But what we're essentially doing here is we are inviting them to book using a link or a QR code that's sent via a campaign or manually. And they're going to a page, and they will have a unique page for each visit, because they're also going to have a unique confirmation page that says, you've just purchased your 3rd visit. Remember, your 6th one is free. So be sure to keep an eye out on your email so that you can book again, right? And so we also are able to, using automations, automatically have that person tagged with visit 1. We know which visit they're on, right? And they're not going to have visits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all on the contact at the same time. It's only the one that's active, because our automation is removing them, right? We're removing the campaigns that we don't need anymore, and we're following all the way through here. And then on the 5th visit, the confirmation page should have great big firework emojis and all kinds of crazy stuff happening, congratulating them and telling them, why don't you go ahead and book your 6th meeting now, or whatever that might be. And then of course, this one doesn't have a payment form, does have a confirmation page, and then the campaign that follows sends them back to start over, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I love that idea, Peter. If you have some other ideas about a funnel and how you would want something to show up, really all I'm doing here, I'm not saying this is how the funnel should be designed. Somebody's coming and saying, I want it to do this, how can I do it? And we're basically utilizing this wireframe board here to show you how that can be achieved. So feel free to bring those to us, and we're happy to show more ways that you can get this stuff done. Well, that's a good question, Bren. So we have a Facebook group and focus on a Facebook group instead of building a community on AttractWell, because Facebook is actually a really great place for leads, right? So having a place on your own website is a great place to nurture people who are already your leads. But for folks who maybe don't know you yet, Facebook is still kind of the best place to be, because you know, folks who aren't a part of our community yet can be invited by members of our community, or they can see it, get curious enough to join, and it's an easy thing to do. Perhaps they don't trust us enough to give us their email address yet, right? And so Facebook is really useful for sort of that most shallow outer layer of your funnel. That's a really good question, though. But we do in our member area, we tend to have with our programs and courses that we offer to our community, we do have discussion in very targeted ways where we have them and are able to manage them inside of the member area. Oh, thank you, Gemma. All right, well, I am so glad that this is helpful to you guys. We are back every single week at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, you had one more question. Okay, perfect. Yes, please do take me up on this offer. Tell me what you want your funnel to look like, and we can map it out for you and show you how it can work in AttractWell. I dare you to show me something that's not going to work in AttractWell. Everything works here. And you don't have to worry about managing it in some kind of very expensive, complicated way with 7 different logins to all these different kinds of software that you have to learn. So we're thrilled to help you get that done, and we'll be back here same time next week. Thanks for your time, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend.